this battery is definitely gonna die. Okay. Hello, and welcome to my channel. I'm Mandi Grace, author of 10 young adult novels so far. Today's video, I just wanted to do a bookshelf tour for reasons unknown. I actually really love this white shelf that I've made, and I think I did a vlog of like putting books onto the shelf when I moved in and got the new shelf, but now I want to do a bookshelf tour. Not gonna be super exciting, but here we go. My battery is dying, so this could get interesting. Up on the top, I just have some random photos of people that I love, and I have this really cool thing that my sister made me. Lucy's Legend is the first book that I ever published. It's kind of the second complete novel that I ever wrote, but I have never published the first one, so Lucy's Legend was the beginning of it all, and that's just a really cool painting my sister made for me. I also have a bunch of little, like, and by a bunch I mean 4, little random hummingbirds. Across here, I have my fan fiction shelf. Also Strange Planet, because it doesn't have a home. But anyway, I have my fan fiction shelf because when I first started out writing actual novels, I was also writing fan fiction, which I haven't written in years, but I've kept all the stuff because I did the same sort of like book Bible things with the character portraits and the outlines and the whatever, details. All the things. So, yep, that's my fan fiction shelf. Over there I have adult coloring books. Coming down, I have a couple of really random classics turned into manga shelf there. And then this cute little thing that one of my best friends gave me. Sliding over here, we have my books. Don't mind my half marathon trophy. These ones are not published, these 3, they're just not. And then I have my Robin Hood books, my dystopian trilogy, and then my other Robin Hood books. This one is technically not mine, but it's the Return to Grace twin, because it was published on the exact same day with the same title, and I had to buy it, and it has to sit next to Return to Grace for the rest of eternity. This is my favorite candle ever that I got. Focus, please. There it is. Yes, I got this in a writerly care package from Bethany Achazada. Over here I have my Robin Hood books. I want to say I used these for research when writing my Robin Hood books, but that's not really true. I just like reading Robin Hood books. This one's probably the best one I've ever read. Over here we have my candle shelf. It looks like a sad little selection there, but it's fine. This one I made myself. I absolutely love that we have a candle bar here in town now. This is from there as well. Bunch of random candles. You don't really need an inventory on my candles. Moving down here. This is kind of the classics shelf that doesn't fit on my favorite classic shelves. So I'll explain that when we get to the other classic shelf. But anyway, this is classics that I really enjoy, especially these ones. This, small confession that I have to make because I've been on a book buying ban. This I just bought because I already owned it, but it looks like this. So I bought a new copy. I've read them all, so they didn't have to go on my TBR stack. This little shelf is where I keep my purse and keys because it's right by my door and it's really easy, so it's not books at all. Moving down, oh, more confessions. This similar to the Robin Hood shelf up there. This is books that, other than this one, because this was given to me, these are books that I bought recently, despite my book buying ban, but I said I could do it because, I said, as if anyone else is in charge of this. I'm literally the only one who cares. But anyway, yes, I told myself that I could do it because they're research for my fantasy story that I'm currently writing, so it's fine. So this turned into my research shelf for my King Arthur story. It's lovely. I've thought about, other than the fact there's a bunch of other stories there, I've thought about moving my Mark Twain book down because it has a Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court, but it doesn't really count, so it stays on the classic shelf. Also, my collection of eggs. I've been collecting eggs since I was like, I don't know, 12 or something. They're just random eggs. I don't know. Eggs! What can I say? Moving down. This is my writerly shelf. It's missing a number of books, like Save the Cat, Story Genius, Take Off Your Pants. Yeah, I don't know, several books. It's missing some books because I've been writing, and the ones that I use while writing don't tend to stay on the shelf because they go wherever my writing project is. These ones are ones that I've read. Some of them I use, some of them, like this one, I pretend don't exist. And then this is the stack of books that I haven't yet read, but I will because I'm doing one every single month. So, voila. You will notice that there's only 4 there, despite the fact that I need 5 to get through the year. It's fine. I didn't count correctly in January when I bought books. I bought 11. Sliding down again, I have a random complete novels of Jane Austen, which did not really match the aesthetic of my favorite classic shelf, so much like that classic shelf, this Jane Austen just had to sit over here. And then this is a series of books that I read as a kid and really loved, and they're, you know, the same color-ish as the Jane Austen, so they all go together. Then moving over here, this is actually my TBR shelf. They're, well, not on that shelf. I thought they were double stacked on some of these shelves, but maybe not. Maybe it's just that one. They used to be all over the place, but this is what I have left to get through in the year. So we will get there. Actually, these 2 things, first of all, don't belong to me, and second, I've already read. But until I read the 3rd one and give them back to their owner, they sit here. So there you go. This is the shelf that doesn't count because I don't put books on my shelf until after I read them. Moving over to the shelf that made me want to do this in the first place. This is my classic shelf that I love. And it doesn't have space for the rest of my classics that ended up on the other 2 shelves. And also they just don't really fit, okay? They don't fit. So here's the deal. I have Jane Austen and Jane Austen. I have 1 Louisa May Alcott, which is kind of sad. I need more of those. A couple of Bronte sisters, a couple of Dickens, we've got Eliot, we've got, what have we got? We got Hemingway, we've got Black Beauties over in the corner, there's all sorts of things. But it's like a certain look and feel to get on this shelf, okay? This is the shelf of honor, and if you don't look a certain way, you just don't make it up here. I don't even know how to describe what it is. It's just, there's a certain something. The Odyssey doesn't fit, like, space-wise, but it still had the, like, feeling I was looking for, so I shoved it up there. But anyway, that is my classic shelf. Moving down to my second favorite shelf, which is currently a bit of a disaster. These things are here because I just filmed my books that I read in July. It's a sad stack. So I need to put Fable on my shelf. I need to put this one down on the writing shelf. This one I'm still reading. So let's just do that. This is actually the book launch planner, which I have so that I'm ready for the fantasy story. Go hang out with the candles, why don't you? Anyway, after all of that, this is my second favorite shelf. After that one. I love this bookshelf, not gonna lie. So, in order to be on this shelf, 2 things. 1, you kind of have to be an indie author. And 2, you have to be an indie author that I follow obsessively. Kind of. There are a few random ones that don't really belong in those categories, but let me explain. So over here in her own corner, because she is the queen, we have Bethany Achazada's books and the candle that goes with said books. I'm obsessed with this series. If you have been following any of my social medias for any amount of time, you have probably noticed I am obsessed with these books. And there's another one coming out, and I'm so excited. And sliding over here, we have Watercolor Green by Ozzy. I found her on YouTube, I don't know, a year and a half ago or something. I don't think she's currently on YouTube anymore, but anyway, that's where I found her, and her poetry collection. It's great, it's wonderful. This, In a Mirror, is by Emily Bourne. She is one of the first author tubers that I ever followed. The third, in fact, which feels like one of the first, because there was two for a very long time, only two, and then there was Emily. And then much later, I decided to follow other people. This is The Keeper by Shanna Dao. She actually participated in my release day party for Return to Grace, which is up there. So she gets a place of honor on this lovely shelf. Also, she's an indie author, so it counts. Natalia Lee's books, author tuber that I follow. She is super fun. I love her books, but her channel is also super fun too. Then we have Mandi, Lynn, and Jenna Moresi. These are the two that I follow. Mandi Lynn was kind of the only person on AuthorTube, I swear, when I first started following her years and years and years ago. And then Jenna Moresi as well. And then here on the end, I have a couple of books. This one technically belongs on my TBR, because I have not read it, but it's been on this shelf since I got it because it's from an indie author that I met at a little convention thing that I do annually, except that I've missed the last 2 years, but it's fine. So there we go, my favorite shelves, and then moving on to the other ones that don't really matter as much. This is just a bunch of fiction organized by author's last name, alphabetical. It's lovely. It's a mess. Yeah, I don't really want to go through and explain all of them, but I've got a bunch of like Kingsbury romances and Beverly Lewis romances and things. I don't know. What do you want me to say? Books. This entire shelf here is Jeanette Oak Books, which are like 1800s Western something. They're romances, basically, but they're not like, it's not as cheesy and ridiculous for me as reading contemporary romances. So there you go. And then moving down here, you have the continuation. I need to move these. I need to swap them. I need to put Jeanette Oak down there on her own, because this line jumps down to here where I have more Kingsbury books and then other random books that I have read. This one is amazing, people. You all need to read The Name of the Wind. Also, The Hate You Give. That was amazing, too. Anyway, The Color of Compromise actually isn't fiction. All of these are happy fiction books, except for The Color of Compromise, which just sits with The Hate You Give, because I read them at the same time, during the same, like, racial upheaval in America. They're just linked in my mind now, so they sit together. I have some interesting thoughts on The Color of Compromise, but probably discuss that in a different video. So there you go. It's my shelves. I didn't talk about my cute little TARDIS. That's the main shelves. I do have a couple others, which you may or may not have interest in, but we're about to go check them out. This is what I call my Jesus shelf. It's, yep, basically that. There are Bibles, there are devotions, there are all of these like spiral notebooks that have my notes that I've taken during various devotions through my life, or, you know, sermon notes, or like whatever. It's my Jesus shelf. That's what it is. Here we have my journals, because I write in my journals every day. And then a random selection of things. My cookbooks are over here, my sign language books, my yearbooks from school, things. And the very last shelf is hiding over here in my closet area. I have all my children's books right here, and then I have DVDs and random things on the middle shelf, and then on the bottom shelf, where you cannot see it currently because there's a lot of stuff in my room, is my writing. I don't know if you can see those notebooks down there. Entire shelf on the bottom is just a bunch of like series Bibles and character notes and just outlines and random thoughts that I had when brainstorming. It's my writing shelf with a bunch of random unorganized notes from previous projects. My current project doesn't go on the writing shelf, So all the fantasy King Arthur stuff doesn't go on that shelf right now because I'm in the middle of writing that series. But should I finish that series at some point, it's all going on the shelf. Yep. And that is it. My bookshelves.